Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with a 13th layout using the February Hip Kit. I'm showing you some of the stuff that I have left. Not too much stuff. I have a few things on this chipboard sticker sheet and I'm basically going to use it all. I'm showing you I'm going to use some stuff from the September skies, and this is Webster's pages, and one side had all these little circles, and then the other side was sort of mixed media look pattern paper, and that's what I'm going to use. And then I still have a full sheet at this point of the My Mind's Eye, the circles, and I'm going to cut one of the phrases on there. And I just showed you the difference between the two creative memories cutters. One is white, and then that little guide that you push down on the blue one, on the old one, you could not lift it at all, like it's stuck down. And on the new ones, that little guide lifts up. And right now, I don't know which one I prefer, whether the guide lifts or doesn't lift, because I've had the other one for 12 years, so I'm used to it not lifting. So I guess it's just a matter of getting used to it. So like I said, on that My Mind's Eye pattern paper, I'm going to cut out one of the phrases, and it says, "Today is full of promise." And I'll explain that in a minute. And then I had someone that asked me, when my arm is across like that, what am I doing? My computer is on a shelf right in front of me. And it means that I'm putting on a show for me to watch or something like that. I try to put it on before I start the video, but sometimes it doesn't work and I have to go and, do it again or whatever. So this time on this page, I want to use a whole bunch of washi tape. Now, a lot of these were already cut down and they were sitting on my tag, so I just kind of took it off the tag and stuck it down to my mat before I started the video, just to kind of, would have been kind of boring to see me taking it off the tag. So I just kind of took it off before I started the video. And these washi tapes were from Heidi Swap, and there was like 2 rolls, and on each roll there was 3 different little patterns. And I didn't like to just kind of unroll it and just use it the way the pattern was. Every time the pattern ended, I just cut it down, and then I kind of used it then however I wanted to use them. I wasn't bound to the 3 that were on the roll. I could kind of move it around and use it different ways. So basically, I don't have a lot of pattern papers left, so what I'm doing is, with the washi tape, I'm creating a background, sort of like if it was with pattern paper. Now, I printed 2 pictures on my Canon Selfie, and I used the Pick Frame app, and I just put 2 pictures. And in February, my son, they started a new school, and he's still going to the same school, like it's Moncton High School, but their school was so old. It was an old building, and actually when my second daughter, when she was in her 12th year, they actually condemned the school for the whole year. Like, they had to bus kids to different schools. Like, the whole high school wasn't together. There was a middle school that was supposed to open for some middle school kids, and they ended up giving it to the high school kids because they had nowhere to go. So they kind of put off the middle school kids getting their school, and it was just a big mess. And they ended up not graduating at their school. Like, there's a casino here, and they kind of rented one of the rooms, like their big rooms, where they had their shows, and that's where they had their graduations. So the kids were really, really sad about that, because they went to that school, all their high school life or career, and then they didn't get to graduate there. So they were quite heartbroken about about that. And so I didn't think that my son was going to get to go to that school, because then they decided, that they were going to build a new school because the high school was condemned. Well, it took years. My son had time to go grade 9 and most of grade 10 at the old school, because they fixed it, in quotation. I don't know how safe it was for them to be there, but they did spend a year to sort of fix what was wrong. There was a whole bunch, like structural and environmental, like there was a whole bunch of stuff. So they fixed it enough so that I guess it pleased the inspectors that the kids could be in there. And so my kids, there's 6 years difference between the two kids. So they were out of that school for probably a year and a half. And then, it was quite a few years before my kid went to high school, and he was there for a year and a half. So it took forever for this new high school to be built. And then last summer, we had a rainy summer. So they were supposed to be in the school in September, but it was so rainy that it just took forever for the cement to dry and everything to get it built. So it got delayed, and they just got in that school in February of this year, 2015. So at the beginning of February, we brought Ace to get fixed, and Josh, of course, wanted to go and bring him, and it was first thing in the morning. So then we drove him to school, and it was the first week that he was going to that school. So I snapped some pictures. There's no way he wanted to pose. So I got a picture of his back walking to the school, and then I just took a picture of the school. But I thought that was pretty cool that I got, a picture of him in the first week that he was in his new school. So that was kind of neat. And so I'm just taking a whole bunch of stuff that was kind of left from the die cut package and from the chipboard sheet. There was a pencil, and then there was the days of the week, including Saturday and Sunday, which I don't use on this layout because, of course, they only go to school Monday to Friday. So I'm going to use the Monday to Friday little tabs. I'm going to use the pencil. And then from the die cuts, I used the numbers. And I had quite a few missing because I used it on some of the other layouts. But I just, school, numbers, it kind of goes. And then I took a piece of that Studio Calico Project Life card that I had used half of it on a layout. I think it was the layout just before this. And I just used the leftover so I can do my journaling on this card. I think I have one door left, and I just notice it once the layout is all done. So you're going to see it in close-ups. I just put it right next to the journaling card. And that's from the We Are Memory Keepers big sheet of the doors. And I had a little piece of door right there that I'm sticking down right here to kind of start my embellishment clusters. And then I'm just going to put the days of the week right next to that die cut that says today is full of promise. So I had to stop the recording because I could hear Mason coming up the stairs, and he was being quite loud. So I'm going to use one of those 3x3 cards, I guess. And it just says, hey there, handsome. And then there was a puffy sticker that was a typewriter. So I'm going to use it on this layout. And I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put that Monday to Friday. I'm just trying to see if it would look better scattered around the layout or in a row. I just decide to put it in a row right next to that die cut. That's where I liked it the most. And it was just, I don't know, it was just fun this time around to have those 2 washi tapes. I have, a ton of washi tapes, and it just seems that I hadn't used them in quite a bit, in that way, I guess. Usually I just take the washi tape and just kind of make it so that it's a little grounding element to kind of start the base for my embellishment clusters. But this time around, for this kit, I used it quite a bit as almost like pattern paper in the background, and I really like that. Now I'm just taking my quick dry adhesive that I put in my fine line bottle, and I'm just adding it to the die cuts, and I'm going to glue that down. And I'm not being very precise. They're not perfectly lined up, and I'm okay with that. The only thing that I can say that I have a hard time with that fine line bottle is there's in the cap, there's like this needle type that sticks out, and that's what you put inside that little barrel so that that's why it doesn't clog up. Well, I have the hardest time to getting those two things to align. Maybe I'll probably get used to it, but yeah, I have a hard time with that. This is sped up ×4, so it seems to be pretty fast, but it does take me quite a bit of time every time to get it in there. Just seems to take me quite a bit of time. So I have a few of that Webster's Pages pattern paper. Actually, it's the background here that I have, the back side of it. It's all those little circles, and I cut them all apart. I still have a few of those, and I'm trying to use them all, on the different layouts that I'm using, so that at the end I don't have any left, because if I do, I'm not going to keep them, because they're just little circles. So that's why I'm trying to use them up as much as I can. And then there was another chipboard sticker that looks like a ribbon, that first place ribbon. So I thought that'd be perfect for a school layout, and I just used one of those little circles. There was a little die cut that looks like an arrow, and that little ribbon, and then a puffy sticker that says "for real." And then I'm going to put my title right next to that. And I wanted to use those Heidi Swap letters that came in one of the kits, but I didn't have all the letters for it. So I'm going to have to go to my stash and get some letters. I'm going to choose some black foam thickers. The ones that came with all the kits that we got, there was some gold ones, and I really didn't want to do it in gold. And there was some pink ones, and I didn't want to do them in pink. So that's why I went to my stash. So this was fun to document something that's happened quite recently. I know we're in April right now. I did this in March, this layout, probably the middle of March. So he'd only been in his school for about a month when I did this layout. Now, sometime in May, they're having sort of a breakfast at their school, and it's to raise money. And this school is totally high tech, and so that we can go visit the school. So I got to check the email and check the date, and really hoping that I'm not working so that we can go and do that and go visit the school, because my husband went to a parent teacher meeting last week, and because I had work nights, and so I was sleeping during the day. So my husband went by himself, and he said it's a pretty cool school. And so I can't wait to go visit it, and I'm going to take some pictures. And that's where I'm going to put my title, and I kind of made it so that it was really close to that cluster, so it's part of that bottom cluster. And this layout was super quick. It took me an hour to make. I find as I get at the end of the kits, my layout seems to be getting a little faster. And I think it's because my choices are quite limited. It is what it is. Even at the beginning of the kit, even though I separate everything, the amount of die cuts that I have chosen per layout is quite a bit. So then it takes me a bit of time to kind of figure out what I want to use. I did open up the Dilution ink that came in the color add-on, and I added some sprinkles, and now I went to my stash and got some My Mind's Eye enamel dots, and I'm going to add some to a few clusters on the layout. And that's going to finish layout number 13. And here are some close-ups of the layout and, the embellishment clusters. And that's it. The page is done. And I hope that everyone is going to have an awesome week. So thanks for watching. Bye.